This is a work session of the Mayor and Borough Council of the Borough of Seaside Park, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, held on Thursday, January 16th, 2025, advertised for 7 p.m. Pursuant to the provisions of New Jersey's Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting was properly provided by transmitting the notice of the meeting for publication in the Asbury Park Press and the Ocean Star on January 3rd, 2025. Notice of the meeting of the governing body has been posted in the corridor of the municipal building and in the office of the municipal clerk. Roll call.
Councilmember Anfield?
Here.
Councilmember Condos?
Here.
Councilmember Connor?
Here.
Councilmember Kraft?
Here.
Councilmember Rotunda?
Here.
Council President Wilk?
Here.
Mayor Peterson?
Here.
Thank you.
The first item for discussion is to the submission of a 2025 local recreational improvement grant application to the NJ Department of Community Affairs. That's listed for consideration as Resolution 22556 at the regular meeting. And any background? Turn over to Karen.
Yes, so we're going to apply for this grant, up to $100,000, in an effort to make the site of the old Clark Central more of like a passive recreation area with benches and a gazebo and native landscaping. So just a place for people to hang out and meditate, get food from across the street. So that's what the grant will be for.
And that's the yearly program that's offered every year.
Yes.
Right, yeah, we got 75,000 last year through that
We
program.
used for the ball field.
To
Yeah,
improve
we
the drainage.
Right, and we discussed it with the Recreation Committee,
Right.
and it's a good use. You know, there's been a lot of discussion about what we're doing with the property. There's been, some, the one bigger proposal that was beyond the scope of what we could currently afford to do. So if we could do something that gets us,
Right.
in maybe stage steps there.
Be perfect, put towards that, yeah.
Yeah.
Develop it a little bit and make it nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Or? The next item is discussion of a proposal provided by Millennium Strategies LLC for grant consulting services. That's listed for consideration as Resolution 2025-57, the regular meeting. And that came about through ongoing efforts through the administrator, through the clerk, the council, the fire department, and all concerning looking for the best available grant. This firm identifies and locates any potential grant opportunities and points that out to us if we want to then proceed with the application process. And of course, first and foremost on that list is what we've been hoping for is a grant associated with the acquisition of the fire company's need, and that is the new hook and ladder. So that's kind of top of the list. Everyone, obviously, if there are opportunities, some are tailor-made for specific topics, specific jurisdiction with various departments, but I think Jenna has already available in the system the request that this company, if this is acted upon favorably, to put first and foremost, in fact, immediately for that truck. And that's obviously first and foremost, and we certainly welcome our chief here, is working diligently on all avenues to move ahead with that purchase as well.
And so for this one, this is a not to exceed $5,000, right?
Yeah.
For their services?
For the services.
So-
Unless they actually write a grant,
Right.
then we pay them extra.
Okay. And that's on an hourly basis,
Yeah,
their rate.
$150 per hour per project.
They have a very impressive, I saw, the presentation they gave us, their resume, I'll call it, is very, very good, very thorough, and very successful in what they've done in the process, so.
I mean, if I had a count, it looks like they got at least a few hundred clients.
Easily. Yeah. Yeah.
And in 2020, they did successfully get a grant for a ladder truck for Cliffside Park.
Oh, okay.
727,000
Yeah.
was that grant.
Yes.
It was a lot.
Yes.
And it's roughly 40% of a real cost
Yeah.
of the actual.
The next item is discussion of a proposal submitted by RVE to provide 2025 floodplain management services and CRS recertification services, and that too is on the regular meeting agenda, Resolution 225-58 for consideration, and that's a yearly requirement. We've utilized them in the past.
Mayor, just to continue what they've been doing for a number of years. They take care of our floodplain management services for permits for home remodeling and also for our CRS building, keep our, for discount on the flood insurance.
And obviously, the goal is to maximize our chances for the lowest possible rating so that the premiums and the rates are acceptable and as low as possible.
And also for the last 2 years, we've tried to hire someone with the floodplain manager certification, and we've just been unable to. That's why we have to rely on our engineering firm to provide that service.
Anything else on that one?
The floodplain is done on an hourly basis as opposed to, like a flat fee. So CRS is a flat fee.
The next item, again, related to the fire department, it's a resolution on for consideration at the regular meeting, number 59, discussion to sell the 2009 Ford Expedition vehicle to Seaside Park Volunteer Fire Company, and that entails the useful, is it shelf life or whatever you would call it, and maximize whatever revenue might be available for the fire department.
And that vehicle, the fire company actually bought the vehicle, and then, but the town titled it so we could insure it. So now we're just giving them back their
So
asset.
basically, it's a transfer title, and so they could use it, so they could destroy it. And
They're gonna use it for training.
For training.
For training, which works good. And then once they use it for training, you can't use it.
so zero cost,
Well, there's anything left. There's hardly anything left now, but no,
so it'd be less.
But you're using it for training only because it's not useful, as is anyway, right? But
Right.
not like it's not going to be useful because you're using it for
No.
training. It's already not useful. Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like they
I
should.
mean, that's a caveat, that people, that we weren't just using it for a drill and
No.
then throwing it away.
No,
It was already disposed
They were
of.
thrown away, right.
yes, they shoot horses, don't they? So,
Mhm.
The next item is discussion of ongoing shared services agreement with the Borough of Seaside Heights for CFO services. That too is on for consideration at the regular meeting, number 65. And those services have been in place now for
About a
at
year.
least a year.
Yeah.
During this last year with the individual.
Two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is through June 30th of this year.
June.
Which, just for the discussion purposes for everybody, cannot be extended beyond June because Seaside Heights no longer wants to allow that shared service. So we're actively pursuing somebody to fill that role for us, whether it becomes somebody that we hire full-time, and if that route doesn't work, then we'd have to pursue some other arrangement through shared services with another borough. But my understanding, I guess, from Karen, is that other boroughs locally are also struggling to fill that position. So,
special requirements for that job?
yes.
Extensive. Extensive certificate, CPA would not qualify.
Yeah.
No, the CFO certification.
CPA plus the CFO.
Plus, yeah, I mean, if you can start with that.
Yeah, I would think.
Doesn't mean you're ready.
I think a CPA would be higher than what that is.
Well, it's
No,
not,
no,
it's not,
no.
it's not apples to apples.
I mean, from the titling, and I had asked Jenna actually today, we were talking about this, is, you know, I said, well, how long would it take? So if you could possibly train somebody that you already had to get that, and it's just probably upwards of 2 years by
Yeah.
the time you complete everything with the cadence that the training is actually offered by the state and everything else. So it's not a, like, oh, let's take someone we have and make them a certified financial officer. It would take us 2 years, of which we do not have.
Okay.
And we've been pursuing this for quite some time, so we do have some candidates. We'll see where that goes. If anybody knows any certified CFOs in the state, let us know.
CMFO.
No, it's, I think, one of our prior CFOs provided consulting services for us and is still providing consulting. Amashu was one of the state gurus or well-thought-of state people that they reach out to, and he has unfortunately described this situation in the state of New Jersey as definitely the next major problem. He described it even more glaring terms of all the towns struggling, just as you described. It's going to be ongoing. The next item we have is the annual resolution authorizing the participation of the town in the Clean Ocean Actions beach sweeps this year's Saturday, April 12th, and then again Saturday, October 18th. And this year, their announcement and notice came, it's their 40th anniversary, 40 years they've been doing that up and down the New Jersey coast. And Lavallette and Seaside Park were two of the original towns that started this program, along with some others. Any questions or comments on that one? That's on for consideration number 66. And the next is a proposal of CME Associates Engineering Services for the municipal marina breakwater improvements. That too's on for the regular meeting agenda as Resolution 68. This has been pointed out as a necessity for some time.
Yeah, there's, the breakwater on the west side of the marina, which is north of the Bayward entrance. There's a 35-foot section that is in disrepair. And that will require a replacement. And right now, we're looking at not to exceed $30,500 for engineering services from CME Associates. But the construction cost this time is to be determined, based upon once they start down the road of putting together the plans and things like that, before they put it out to bid. So the $30,500 covers everything from the plans all the way through bid monitoring and award. Again, this is not paid out of taxpayer dollars, this is paid out of marina funds, out of the marina utility.
Thank you. Anything else from council on that one? Any other issues for work session discussion from council? I know we need to go into a closed session on the one item as to potential litigation. But hearing nothing further from council, I'll go to comments from the public as to work session items, if anyone has them, if they could give their name and address them to the record. Yes, Ian?
8048 11th Avenue. Just a couple of quick questions. Does the town hold the title for all the fire department vehicles?
Yes.
Okay. And does the fire department need to replace this vehicle that you're gonna use for training? No, it's not.
Certain places.
CFO, do we need one full-time?
Yes.
Because I know we used to have somebody.
Yeah, it's the preferred option to have
Yeah.
a full-time CFO.
Okay, my other question has to do with suspending the parking for the clean action beach sweeps. I know in the past, some of you may remember, I sort of championed the idea of not charging parking for these nonprofit organizations that have runs during the off-season. So there seemed to be a stumbling block on how this would happen. So could you tell me how it's handled, that people that participate in the clean action, the clean ocean action, how is the free parking handled? Do they get a placard, or how does that work?
There's a suspension for the 3-hour time period for enforcement as to parking meters. Sometimes our parking meters aren't in place, but if it falls in this one, both of them this year fall within our parking meter
Yes,
timeframe.
both of them.
So something like that could be done for one of these runs?
I don't know, the distinction drawn years ago was this particular event was actually providing a benefit to the town, and some of the other nonprofits were charging their own fees.
I think you're right, Mr. Mayor.
So that's, I know years ago
For
that
example,
was,
when the Semper Fi run happens, are they charged for parking?
That's Seaside Heights.
No.
that's sponsored by Seaside Heights.
That's Seaside
That's
Heights.
sponsored by Heights, and they charge fees, yeah, to run. I mean, I run it pretty much every year, yeah.
And that particular event, that it's all point to your question, that provided some controversy this particular last year. I don't know if Dan's aware of it, but they attempted to, in fact, did direct people that the beach was closed in Seaside Park, and the beach was not closed, and hopefully will never be closed.
Well, I mean, and I've said this before, you know, when these people come into town for these runs, it's not like they come in and pay whatever fee and leave again. You know, they might stop and have lunch, they might, you know, do things at the boardwalk, so there is some benefit to the town. Is it really gonna kill us to exempt, you know, a 3 or 4 hour period of parking for that? I mean, I just bring that up again, because,
Okay.
you know, there are a lot of people that come in for these runs.
Yeah, there
Or
are,
just don't do it for this.
there are, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks,
The
Steve.
flip side is you could just not do it for this one if it causes a conflict where you feel like you're doing it for one and not the others. I mean, honestly, the people that come, I think, for the clean sweep tend to be gathered by certain entrances only, like certain blocks, because that's where they gather their bags and their stuff. So I think it's a very limited number of people that you're really, like, I don't know, giving a little grace. But I understand your point, it's inconsistent. So you decide, do you do this? I mean, does anybody expect it? I don't think the participants even know that it's suspended, quite frankly. So I'm not sure if it would matter versus, like, we would have to look at every single application that came in and then determine, do you want to offer suspended parking?
Yeah.
I personally feel like it will become another administrative nightmare.
I mean, do we have that many runs?
Well, it's not just runs, though, like, what about, I mean,
It's events.
yeah, not,
Kite
yeah,
night.
I mean, you're talking about just for
Yeah. Kite night.
non-prop, I don't know.
There's
I would have,
one-
I
one
guess
is
we
all
could
the
talk
line.
about it in a committee for rec stuff, or this, how we use, I don't know. Yeah, it's always, you think the simplest things and they become this administrative nightmare, and how you're gonna actually operationalize it, you know?
Do we, it's
I mean-
again off topic, but on the Semper Fi run, has some kind of a polite, a diplomatic letter going out from the municipality to those that are operating Semper Fi that we did not sanction the closing of our beach last year, and in all likelihood,
I don't even
it
know
was more
about
than a
that.
rumor,
That wasn't a rumor.
not a
It
rumor,
was true.
and it
True.
will never
Several
happen
beaches.
again.
Not all of them.
It didn't happen then either officially.
I ran it, I ran the whole route, and they were turning people away from the beaches.
Who was turning?
I like the,
They were told that a lot of them did go on the beach.
How the people running the event?
running the event. I mean, I don't know who, running the event, yes.
Well, that's one of the problems they had in Seaside Heights itself.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying, some kind of notice should go polite
Right,
but firm from the Borough of Seaside Park.
right.
So they don't say we're springing it on them with no notice and no warning, so it can't be discussed and contemplated, talked about
Yeah,
well prior to next, whether it's August, September, whenever they're contemplating it.
Okay. What's it get for that?
well, last year, they ran it in Seaside Park for the first time in a couple of years, a portion of it.
Yeah, portion.
The other years, they didn't, and initially, they were, you know. So they would have to put a use of facilities in
Yeah,
for our section, so we can make it pretty,
I like when you do that.
Well, really.
no.
pretty darn clear to them,
Yeah,
you know, that this is the way it has to be.
Yeah, they would have to apply for it.
Yes.
Okay.
Did I go too far?
any other work session comments? Yeah, Michelle?
Hi, Michelle Miller, 1500 Lake Avenue. I just have a question on C about the proposal submitted by RVA. Have you included the north section of town regarding flooding?
This has
We
nothing.
asked someone else at another point, you know, what plans were for Lake Avenue and M Street, N Street, O Street, and we were told, you know, there were none. So I'm here to just ask, hopefully with this, with their services, you include us.
This has nothing to do with the Bayfront flooding. This has to do with the service for our insurance rating, for CRS ratings. Has nothing to do with any structure or any kind of engineering or anything. It has to do with paperwork for the building department.
Well, I'm just bringing it up anyway to just.
Nice way to slide it out.
You said Bayfront, I got you.
I got it, I heard flood.
John, we don't forget north or anything. Or we don't forget.
Sound slide.
Yeah.
Any other public comments on the work session items? Yeah, Dennis, our fire chief is here, we welcome.
Question about the Millennium Strategies. First, I was lucky enough to sit with Karen through a Zoom meeting and speak with them. I was very impressed. I think it's a great thing for the town. They said they email us each department once a week with items that might be something
Yeah.
you might be looking for. So I hope that everyone moves forward with that. Also, we had spoke to some of the council members and the mayor about a letter of intent for the new ladder truck. I think it's great that we're going to go after it with a grant. I think that'll save the taxpayers money. Anything associated with emergency services is astronomical right now. We did discuss a letter of intent. I think it made it to the attorney for review. Just curious where that had been. In the past, some items we've purchased, and I think the account too, a letter of intent was just a whole place for the trucks. Right now, they're about a 4-year out period, 40 months. And since we started talking to companies, they've gone up 5%, and they're about to go up 5% again. So if it's something you guys discuss, it's something maybe you could pass along to us, if that's an option, or where we're at with that.
As I understand, at this point, we can't do a letter of intent. We have a budget coming up in a month or two. It has to be put, we want to put it in the budget according to our CFO and our clerk, number one. And number two, there's certain notices that have to go out if we're going to commit to purchasing a truck. I understand the company that is involved now is on Sourcewell, and another one that we can purchase from. But as I understand, we do have to go out for a notice and give an opportunity for publication for anyone to otherwise bid, I think it is. Janet?
Yeah,
So-
to hit the legal requirements, you still have to do the same bidding requirements as a
Right.
bid.
So we
but-
can't just do a letter of intent. It would really, we have a problem with the budget and a problem with the bidding process and the notice process. So we can't do a letter of intent. As I understand, the CFO, clerk, we all know we want to get this done as soon as possible. So hopefully within the next couple of months, the budget's done. We can do the notice and we can get that letter out. Right now, we can't do that. Sorry.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
And I think also, Dennis, I don't know, not speaking for anyone, but we want, the budget process has already started, and a lot of preliminary research plugging in all the numbers, and I think it's fair to say everyone wants to give this particular item the highest priority.
Yeah, we have a budget meeting next week, as a matter of fact.
And these are considered capital, are they not? The
Yes,
capital,
yeah.
capital.
Yeah, and hopefully get Millennium on board right away and see if we can get
Right.
also the grant as partners.
So I appreciate everyone being
Yeah,
on board with that.
absolutely.
Because I didn't want to see the price go up or the timeframe go up.
You don't either.
Yeah, we all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dennis. Any other public comments on work session items? Hearing none, I'll close the public portion. I'd entertain a motion from council to go into closed executive session with our attorneys as to potential litigation issues, no formal action to be taken.
For the record, the resolution
Right.
has to be read for the
Yes.
record. This is Resolution 2025-54, resolution authorizing the Borough Council to meet in executive session. Whereas the Open Public Meetings Act permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and whereas the governing body wishes to discuss potential litigation. Whereas minutes will be kept, and once the matter involving confidentiality the above no longer requires that confidentiality, then the minutes can be made public. Now therefore, be resolved that the public be excluded from this meeting. Need a motion and a second? I'll make the motion.
Motion by Councilmember Collins, second by Councilmember Rotunda. Roll call.
Councilmember Connor?
Yes.
Councilmember Rotunda?
Yes.
Councilmember Anfield?
Yes.
Councilmember Condos?
Yes.
Councilmember Kraft?
Yes.
Council President Wilk?
Yes.
Motion approved.
And we will entertain a motion from the council to adjourn the work session. Motion by Councilmember from Ray. Councilmember Amador, and we have a second. Second by Council President Wilk. Roll call.
Councilmember Anfield?
Yes.
Council President Wilk?
Yes.
Councilmember Condos?
Yes.
Councilmember Connor?
Yes.
Councilmember Kraft?
Yes.
Councilmember Rotunda?
Yes.
Motion approved.